Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Attorney. I'm your host, Alex Alexander, with Client Focus Media, and today I'm excited to bring Trizia Eavenson from Eavenson Law. That's tgelawfirm.com for those of you who want to click on that bad boy. Welcome. How are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I love fantastic. That's awesome. So that's perfect. You set the tone for everything. So we were speaking a little bit before we came online, and you have a lot of different interests. You do a lot of different things. It's not just, hey, I'm a PI attorney. It's not like that at all. So bring us up to speed a little bit. Tell us, Ms. Eavenson, a little bit about you and your business.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. This is a great platform. I love being able to reach many people. I'm Puerto Rican and Italian, raised in Puerto Rico and Italy and in Florida. And so I have had the pleasure and the honor of traveling the world and seeing where exactly we have some freedoms and where we don't. So I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I always tell little girls, if someone says you're bossy, it just means you have leadership skills. So make sure you hone in on that. But living abroad has really helped me figure out where our Constitution is really important and how we protect others and how do we become service to others. So that's what I ended up doing. I started from the ground up. I started as a paralegal. Actually, I started as a legal assistant / receptionist, cleaning toilets and throwing out garbage in a bilingual law firm, and then kept saying, you know what, I could do that, and I could do that, and I could do that. And I'd go to the resume and change my name from receptionist to legal assistant to paralegal, and then quit law school twice, and finally finished law school at night and work during the day. And so this is where I'm at, to be able to help as many people as possible.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, first and foremost, obviously you had the stick-to-itiveness to say, look, I want to get this done. And I obviously have to make some money in the meantime. So you work while you do this. And no matter the time frame it took, you accomplish your goals. And I'm sure you have the same vigor when it comes to court cases. So you have a goal in mind, and you're going to go after that. Tell us a little bit about some of the litigation that you work with.
Well, I have, again, the honor to be a trial lawyer. So we have to go ahead and convince 6 people, and sometimes 12, with licenses, not always your peers, but we have to convince them that our side is the right side. So I was a prosecutor. And then when I found out how many hours I had to work and how little I had to make, even though it was the great right thing to do, I also had to support a family. So basically what I do is I represent the Brevard County property appraiser, the Brevard County tax collector. I handle medical malpractice defense work as well as medical malpractice plaintiffs work, personal injury cases for plaintiffs, and I also handle wrongful death cases. So when I litigate, the end goal is, what do I want to convey to these folks to make them understand my client's position? How do I get there? And what exactly do I need to do to read all of these jurors to make sure they understand and they identify with me so that they can go ahead and make that decision for my client's best interest?
And listening to some of the things that you do, one of them happens to be the tax collector. You work with the tax collector. And before we were on air, we talked a little bit about some of the things that are happening here in Florida. By the way, everyone, she's located in Melbourne, Florida, and as we are all in Florida here. Tell us some of the unique things going on in Melbourne and some of the activities you've been able to witness.
Well, we have been quite busy here in Brevard County. So we are called the Space Coast for a reason. When the shuttle program closed down, Titusville area, Brevard County as a whole, really kind of entered into a lull. And then the housing market just completely crashed in '08. And we had to kind of figure out what we were going to do. All of a sudden, you have the Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos, Space Florida, which is a body politique here through the Florida Constitution. They decided that this needed to continue as far as the space race, and whether we were going to go to Mars, to the moon, wherever else we were going to go, it had to happen out of Brevard County. So I represent the Brevard County property appraiser as well as the tax collector, and those two are really intertwined when it comes to these large corporations seeking tax exemptions and tax abatements. So we want them to come here And if they come here, they want to make sure that they have a tax exemption. So they have to flow through Florida, through Space Florida. And when they flow through Space Florida, they're able to seek that tax exemption. And we have to make sure, actually, I have to make sure that that they are eligible for that tax exemption. And that's how we get them here.
And just to be clear, I mean, there's when people say things like tax exemptions, they're not exempt from all taxes, obviously, but you give them special rates or special opportunities so that they bring their multi-billion-dollar industries in and obviously hire. And of course, as part of that, what happens to the land around you or the land values around you?
Well, they increase. So what they do with the tax exemption is that is actually completely exempt from taxes. So not only is it property taxes that they're exempt from, but also their TPP, which is their tangible personal property, because it's rented through and there's a lease through and a sublease Space Florida. So it's pretty complicated. But at the end of the day, some people have said, wait, this isn't fair because they don't pay any property taxes on the huge chunk of land and they don't pay taxes on their tangible personal property. However, all of the ancillary revenue that is generated because of these companies really make up for it. So you're having people purchase houses as they come from California, New York, New Jersey, and other places. They'll come here, purchase houses, they'll send their children to school, they'll be paying school taxes, property taxes, and then sales tax on everything that they end up purchasing. So while you don't get that huge chunk of change on the taxes there, you end up reaping it in other areas.
Excellent, excellent. You know, I want to thank you very much for being on the show today. And there's so much more to talk about. I'm sure we're going to be able to do that again sometime soon. But for now, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning into this episode of Ask the Attorney. If you'd like to learn more about Trizia Eavenson from the Eavenson Law, please go to tgelawfirm.com. Also, of course, here at iwanttabuzz.com. Do something good for yourself and do something good for others.